made me a fortune, man. Trying to stop me. Y'all can't stop me. This is forever. Forever, man. I mean that.
Have an all-white rank. Couldn't hit if it had ain't. Lanes can't call and you lame. You had it and you lost a all the shot.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, second-year quarterback Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans as his guys get set to take on Case Keenum and the Denver Broncos. With that,
the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Houston Texans. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be Case Keenum, the 6'1 QB out of the University of Houston.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
And the drive begins here with Sims. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. There's Keenum now on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
Versatile players on defense are all the rage in the NFL, but it also helps to have a Benardrick McKinney who does one thing very, very well, and that's tackle ball carriers. Big man, big size inside, looks like a defensive end playing inside linebacker, still has the ability to run and cut runners off before they can get downfield.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Keenum to throw. But he will hit the man, Demaryius Thomas. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. Now they'll run it on the toss. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. From the red zone now, Keenum escaping the pressure right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Deshaun Hamilton with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. Extra point from McManus is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 37. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. The numbers for Miller in last week's ball game: 18 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
Coming off the lowest yards per carry average of his career is Lamar Miller at 3.7, and that's not normal for him because of his versatility. Can catch it out of the backfield, but his best attribute, high-volume ball carrier. Runs it inside with power, physicality, and some really good vision in order to break some big runs.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot. And they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Now it's Watson. A bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the 1st quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Out of the gun, Watson dumps it complete to Miller. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this 1st drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Defensively, we check the starters now for Denver. They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
They go back to the ground now with Miller. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. On the ground, the drive starts with Sims. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. Yeah. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Now Keenum throwing on second. A dump off to Sims. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Ellington. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at about the 32. Now a first carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the 1st quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that tuckle rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's Watson. That is incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker, He's able to run to the football. And the plays he's making, he's throwing them in the offensive backfield.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos out now 1st and 10. On first down, it's Keenum. Flush to his right. And some room to maneuver. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 7-6 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And that's complete. It's Sims. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw. Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
And sometimes it doesn't matter how big and strong and powerful you are. The defense is going to win an occasional battle, and they did on that one. Stopped him well short of picking up a first down.
So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defense is awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Watson. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Watson on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Here's Watson now on second down, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Good play there to step in and knock that one away by Chris Harris.
Who said that he couldn't play in the NFL?
Not me.
Not you. A lot of scouts did. A lot of people undrafted. And has turned himself into a Pro Bowl cornerback, one that really knows how to play the position.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
From the 50, it's Keenum. Flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. To throw is Keenum, eluding the pressure right. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Keenum now on 1st down. Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And on the ground they go with a running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. On 3rd down, that's Sims. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
From the red zone, it's Keenum. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Christian Covington in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper in the territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. A shotgun snap for Keenum. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. And McManus able to put it through, and they take the lead out in front at 13-12. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
The drive starts with Foreman on the ground, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll start with a couple of West Coast teams who are former division rivals. The LA Chargers heading north to take on Seattle. And it is the Chargers who have the lead in that one. Phillip Rivers has thrown a touchdown there. From there, we'll head east to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. 31-10 was the final score. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And here comes the Texans now. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, when they're
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Play action from Miller. Now Watson going deep for Hopkins. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Watson underneath for Miller. So he got 3 on 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional, a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, Let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense,
yeah.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Keenum going to throw. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Carlos Watkins in there for the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a draft,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bernardrick McKinney in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage. But instead, he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. They'll run it again with Miller. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
He's going to go for a big, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told them, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Keenum now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the Texans scoop it. The 30, 10. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half. They give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
So the drag route works out there. Defensively, they were man, weren't they?
They were, and that's really difficult to cover, especially if you're given time to throw the ball. So what you're trying to do is make sure you're at the hip or the upfield shoulder of the receiver and stay aligned with that. You know, kind of Velcro yourself to it. What a lot of coaches call plastering to a receiver. Because if you let them inside you and they're running away and you're chasing, they've got all the advantages.
Keenum now on first down. Flush to his right. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
Brandon, that's the third time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate one fumble, twos, oh my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And that is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Joseph there for the tackle. They're losing here in the third quarter, maybe trying to get the ball outside, bust a big play. Obviously didn't work there.
Yeah, and while it didn't work, I really can't fault them for trying it. You and I have talked to the offensive coordinator, and we knew that was the place they wanted to try and go. And sometimes you just have to stick with it because 2-yard gains turn into 20-yard gains as the game goes along.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
And this stadium is abuzz after that one, understandably so. I cannot believe he hit that thing.
And you can't help but think back to Tom Dempsey. And his record stood for, what, 43 years until Matt Prater broke it? And now here's a new record. And I'm with you. I cannot believe that ball went through the posts.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Space to maneuver at the 40. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen?
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you get 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
McManus's point after is good, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
Jones on the return. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Keenum to throw on second down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Back 22! Back 22!
Following the fumble recovery, Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And he'll go down at the 28. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. On 1st down, Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
So the Broncos coming out now. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches said. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Broncos on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now they'll run it on the toss. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll run it with Sims. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll go on the ground. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, that was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
They certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
On a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Green the line! Green the
trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing again is Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And out across midfield down to the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. From the 50, it's Watson. Ellington has it, middle of the field. That one good for 14 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. He gets it to Thomas. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
It's not a bad idea. Set up in the gun. Send a bunch of guys out wide and let the defense think you're going to try and put one in the end zone. But here, the draw play just gets bottled up from the start, and he'll wind up losing yardage.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Black 22! Black 22!
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down.
Hey, Black 22!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll run it again with Sims. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. To his knee goes Keenum, and that should be the ball game. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Broncos, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
They call our gas Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What?